no, 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 Can I feel right? And no person Motherfucker!
As we consumed and consumed till we were no more.
We need to open our eyes to the lies we are fed. The system has failed. The system is dead. Absolute corruption. Absolute power. Looking out so smug from your ivory fucking tower. to keep from this self-slaughter. The road was better with eyes closed. The crawling out of my skin. Out of my skin. And it doesn't panic out of my skin.
Yo, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being so patient. We're just having a couple of technical difficulties. Please continue to enjoy the sick tunes, and we'll be right with you. Cheers, guys. Hey, it's your sweet little treat, Papa Trash. How's everybody doing tonight? It is Thursday. It's Thursday. It's end of the week. Got a weekend coming up here. Papa Trash ain't doing no shows this weekend. I will be doing other family stuff, and then next weekend we're hitting Verns for Raising the Ruins. And then we are going out to Red Deer, it looks like. Me and N2 going out to Red Deer to check out what's going on there. That'll be pretty rad. Pretty stoked about that. We got a couple of had a couple of technical difficulties here. I think I might have had a couple settings changed, and I didn't change them back. There's a new update to OBS here, so everything looks a little bit different. But we're still powering through. Just waiting for Mike to jump back in here, and yeah, stoked. How's everybody's week? It's a good week for me, except for today. I had a massive migraine kick in out of nowhere this morning, so I had to bail on work, which I'm not too pleased about by any stretch. But hey, it is what it is, you know. Can't work through a migraine. Sucked. Absolutely sucked. Let's see what's going on with Mike here. Yeah, so it's been pretty rad, you know, Mr. Mike, Mr. Giro is fucking awesome. We were on his show here recently, me and Joel talking Horrify. It was a good time. And now I got him on my show because I want everyone to see what else we got going on here. I want everybody else to see what's going on in the scene, what we got going on for more promotion, what we got going on for more shows, more podcasts, more stuff. Just more stuff to promote the scene. Yeah, I met him out at Loud as Hell. He's a really wicked dude. I'm very stoked to have him. It's going to be good times. So, before we fire this off, sponsors, baby. As always, partnered with Cursed Earth Apparel and Print and Apply Within Audio Lethbridge. We are sponsored by Octave Studios, Medicine Hat, Armstrong Metal Fest, Loud as Hell Festival, Decimate Metal Fest, Intersect Arts and Music Festival, Moments Fest, Siksika now is a new one. Very stoked about that. Camp Misfit Clothing, Mountain Bistro Pizzeria. Pumped. Very pumped. Mike's all worried about having technical difficulties here. Little does he know that our whole show is based on technical difficulties. We'd also like to acknowledge that this podcast / variety show / whatever else it is created, was founded, is recorded on Treaty 7 territory, part of the traditional Treaty 7 land, part of the traditional Blackfoot territories. Fucking A. Very stoked. So, we got new tunes to check out here. Let's, while we wait for our buddy to jump in here, let's flick on over and check out some Tonnage.
Boiled fish. Boiled carrots.
We'll have to start over a bit there. Hey, I'm Nate Trash. Welcome back to another episode of Trash Talk. Ooh, yeah. That's me. You know me. Call me Nate. Nate with a capital. What letters are in Nate? What letter? This is too hard to deal with. I'm not going to do it. Try this another time. All right, let's see what we can get rustled up here. There's new music to check out. Mike was nice enough to remind me that there's always new music coming out. Because I obviously don't know. I suck at this. I'm only into the underground stuff, which kills me sometimes. But there's new Bloodbath tune out, which I want to check out. That Geometry Dash. Sweet. All right, here we go. Okay, let's kick this up here. Do 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 do. There, let's go with the big one. I'm going to get flagged for this, but that's okay. Oh my lord. Okay, so I was kind of getting into that. I'm really not impressed with this. I'm not gonna lie. This fucking sucks. Okay, Bloodbath, fucking rad. The music is fucking good quality. Production is deadly. But this is boring as shit. Like, I'm fucking... Whoa, that's a whole octopus, Ryan. Wow. Sweet, Ryan. Is this gonna amp up a bit or what? All right, let's hope this works now. We're gonna pause this because this is boring.
Sorry for being so late, dude. I hate.
All good, buddy. It all works now. We're all rocking and rolling. I think it was honestly on my end, so you have no need to apologize, my friend.
No, but it's still wasting your time. Like, I should have had this restarted before we got going.
That was my fault. Like, I should have jumped in. I need to start my checks a little bit earlier. I need to get the guys in there at 6:30 so we can check everything and then just let it ride from there. So, like, no stress, man. It's all good. This is what it's all about, buddy.
it, dude.
Hell yeah, man. We're trying to, like, get our new friendship on the blossom here, bro. Let me get you
Well, I
into the
appreciate
scene.
it. Thanks for being so patient too, man. That would piss me off.
Fuck yeah, man. I live for this shit. I'm always stoked to have people on. So I'm not going to ever like be like, oh, well, you know what? I can't. It's too late now. I can't have you on. Well, unless it was like 7:45. Then it's like, okay, so yeah, it is a little bit late, but it's not that close to 7:45. So we're good.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's the guy right there in the scene. We are going to switch this over to the little guy. Turn the big guy off. I'm going to shrink that down a little bit. Actually, let's put that in this corner over here. Yeah, there we go. So we are going to check out some tunes, but we're going to have a little chat here. Introduce yourself.
Sounds good. Okay, so my name is Jeff Giroux. I'm the host of Giro Nation Metal. I started the podcast about a year ago, so I'm looking at October 1st as my 1 year.
Wow, I totally have your name in everything as Mike. I don't know why the fuck I thought your name was Mike.
No problem. It's all good.
So how did this start? What did you get the idea for Giro Nation? Because, like, bro, this is what I do, man. I was really surprised to see on the scene. I was super stoked. I was like, look at this, another hombre in the fucking promotion broadcast game, man.
Well, I appreciate that. So it's kind of a long story. So when I started going to like metal concerts, one of the things I really like to do is meet the bands, and obviously like get to know them, get to know their music. And so the pandemic hit, and so I reached out to a couple bands just seeing if I could chat with them, maybe get an autographed album cover. And then what happened was one of my buddies started a different podcast called Canada Hoops. It's a Canadian basketball podcast, and my buddy Maddie hosts it. He had some pretty good guests on, and yeah, I kind of followed in his footsteps. I was like, I'm kind of craving the live music, but at the time there was nothing going on, and I wasn't sure when anything was going to open up again. So I just said, fuck it, might as well start something a little bit productive, and needed some more time outside of work. So
hell yeah, man. That's exactly what you got to do. Like, it's if you're like not really geared into being in a band, then there's so many other ways to engage the scene and be a part of what's going on without having to like, oh man, I need to play an instrument. I need to know all the right people. Like, no, it's not like that at all, man.
No, it's incredible. Like I'm surprised at how accessible everybody is, and how welcoming the community is. Like every band member, every fan that I've met so far has been wonderful. So it's been a really rewarding experience, and something that I hope to continue for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, man. I'm all for it. Like, you, it was really cool to meet you and everything, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you out at more shows, man. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be out at quite a few more. That was kind of one of my problems too, is like because of COVID, I missed out on a lot of live music. And then when I got kind of back into things, it was kind of weird. Like, it was just weird being around so many people. And not that I don't like being around people, it's just I wasn't used to it anymore.
Yeah.
So it was a good way to thrust myself back into it, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah. So like that kind of happened at Loud as Hell last year.
Mm-hmm.
A whole bunch of us weren't used to being around people. So like as soon as we did get around people, we were all just like partying it up, having a good time. We weren't focused on. There we go. I just had to give you the screen share there so you could see the videos we're gonna watch. Though.
Oh, I love it.
The audio likes to try and double up sometimes, but I'm too damn quick. Yeah, we got really messed up, and like I did end up getting some interviews, but I didn't get as much as I wanted to. But I definitely did this year. This year was like really good for us. Moments Fest ended up being really good for us too. You should have came out to Moments Fest, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, there's only a certain amount of time that I can take off of work, but I think next year I'll try to do that, because it's on the reservation. That's a pretty cool venue for it.
Mm-hmm. So, No More Moments. There is Sick Sick, a punk band. So that's them bringing it back to their fucking scene, so that they can kind of have a free event for all the kids and everything. And it's just super rad to see. I had a lot of fun. It was awesome.
It looked like a good time.
Yeah,
I wish I was there. And No More Moments put on a wicked show.
Oh yeah, there was. Okay, so the outdoor stage, there was a little stage outside, and we finished the night on the little stage outside, and it was nuts. It was so cool to see. And it was a stage the size of Vern's. Okay. And this we had Citizen Rage, and then we had Dayglow Abortions to end off the night, and it was nuts.
That's cool.
I got some videos of me doing a song with Citizen Rage, and the crowd was going insane. And then that was just at the beginning of the night too. That was like their fourth song in. So like they didn't play a short set, and then by the end of the night, by the time Dayglow was halfway through their set, that was packed. It was wild. There was probably like 150 people standing side by side out in the parking lot just watching this little stage. My boy N2 in the chat, he's got himself some wicked good fucking props for the stage prep or for all the stage sound that he did this year. He kicked ass. And big shout out to Liquid Death and Spencer Prees from fucking Scoped Exposure and Scoped Exposure podcast for hooking us all up with that Liquid Death fucking drop. That was sick. So
how long is the Moments Fest?
Moments Fest is usually 2 days. And they'll do the same as all the other ones, have bands for the first half, or have bands the second half of the day on the first day, and then run bands all day on Saturday. And then everybody leaves Sunday. But this year, there was some elders that were lost, and there was mourning. It was a time of mourning, so it wasn't a time of like celebration and partying the way that it usually is. It still was, there's still lots of celebration going on, but it was more so a time of like, okay, it's time for everybody to go after the music's done, which is totally understandable.
No, definitely. And they seem like they're a culture that actually really appreciates their elders and has those, stories and traditions that are passed down through generations. So obviously it's an impactful moment, right?
It definitely is. And it was very sad to hear. But at the same time, it was definitely mixed feelings. Mixed feelings for sure, because such a momentous occasion like the return of Moments Fest mixed with something as devastating as losing family members, right?
Totally.
So what do you think of this new Bloodbath single?
I'm not sure. I like it and I don't. I'm not really sold on the ass end of it, but I really like how they slowed everything down, and I think they're trying to bring it back to like the old school death metal sound that they kind of deviated from over the last couple albums. I might be saying that wrong, but it seems like a departure from what they did in their first couple albums for sure.
Truly it is. Looking at the cover of the album, I'm hoping, because when I think old school death metal, I think like chunky riffs and fucking like galloping fucking guitars and drum beats, pretty, and then just kicking into fucking dun 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 dun. Like this is boring. I'm not gonna lie. I hope that by looking at the cover of this album and seeing like the fonts and everything, this is like a throwback to old school or death metal for sure. I'm hoping they got a little bit more heavy, a little bit more chunk on there for the next tunes. Let's listen to a little bit of this before I start really tearing into it. I'm very biased with the music I enjoy. I need something that like if I'm gonna listen to this, it's got to be something that's gonna make me sweat a little bit. Mm-hmm. If I'm gonna listen to just something in the background music, I'm gonna turn on some 80s hardcore. I'm gonna throw on a playlist on Spotify, right? But like, if you're gonna make a video and do this as your single release, man, come on. But I digress. Let's check a little bit of this out.
Of the blasphemous
So, like, the production quality is obviously through the roof. It's deadly good. But I was so this is once again on me. I was hoping for something faster and more intense. And, like, I was hoping for... Because, like, you got Eaton, obviously, which is their landmark fucking song.
Mm-hmm.
But... and I can't remember the name of the song right now, but they have another couple tunes that are nice and like super fast, but very basic. And it's like, see, that's the kind of stuff that I was hoping they would stick with. But then again, you know, I can't, what do I say here? I can't pick them apart. They're their own, they've been around for like 30 years. I don't really have any right to tear them down like this, and especially musicians that want to change up their sound and do what they want, you know. In a way, I respect that because it's they get the control. They get their own control over what they want to do with things, and you know, that's what everybody should be. That's what everybody should get with their projects. But I want it to go fast, Jeff. I always want it to go fast all the time.
I feel like since they got the new singer, and I can't remember his name right now, the guy from Paradise Lost, but it seems like since they've introduced him, they've gotten a little bit slower. And I would say out of their latest 3 singles, this is probably my least favorite. But I'd say the last like killer album from them was Fathomless Mastery.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Fucking rights, buddy. So I just had to change up a couple of settings here to see if I can see how this works. But that didn't fucking work at all. That's all right. We can still run it like this anyway.
See, and this is where I'm not sold for this.
That got me too. Cause like, I love me some like huge sounding metal, but that chorus, that fucking choir, fucking keyboard, fucking synth shit in the background, man, that's what threw me off when I first heard it. I was like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, is this, are we really gonna go into fucking symphonic? See, okay, Zombie Inferno, let's check this one out. Is this off the fucking?
Yes, Zombie Inferno, and I think the other one is Carved.
Okay, well, maybe
we'll give them credit for experimenting a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I don't hate it, of course, but it's just not clicking with me yet.
No. If you don't wow me, that's pretty sweet. I like that. Okay, I like that.
I actually haven't seen the video, so.
There we go. That's what I'm fucking talking about. I want to see how he hits this. That's the bloodbath that I like. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Yeah. That's my kind of death metal right there, man.
Yeah, and this seems to like go back a little bit. Oh, to me, it doesn't sound like their last album at all.
No. I dig the way that he hit the vocals on that.
I think he's definitely been doing a lot better since joining, for sure. Like, I mean, Brandon Morbid Funeral was pretty good too. But I think he was just like learning to get, learning the band, I guess, if that makes sense.
Oh
like,
yeah, that
the way
definitely
they
makes
play.
sense. Yeah, yeah, totally. Fucking rights, man. You can't just jump into an established project like that and start writing all the new music and like, we should make it sound like this, we should do it this way. You gotta respect what's already been built.
Mm-hmm. Well, then you have to learn how to communicate with the other people in the band and kind of go with their creative flow as well.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be easy joining a band that's already been established for so long.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's an old school death metal breakdown right there.
You're just dying over there.
Love it. Love it. It's my
I
cough
love that
medicine.
it looks like an old school horror movie too.
Yeah, the colors, the purples and reds in the backing colors, and the backlighting is deadly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sweet. I may get the new album. We'll have to see. There's a whole lot going on in the Bloodbath world, it seems, and I'm pretty stoked about that. That looks rad. So
It seems like a really weird art direction too, compared to the last few albums. Like they had, obviously, all the way from the beginning, it's been like kind of gory and kind of more serious looking. But this is kind of like cartoonish and almost like it almost doesn't fit the theme, but I still like it. It's pretty cool.
So what I think that is so they're with Napalm Records, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Napalm Records isn't exactly like, they have a couple of bands on there that lean more towards the artsy side than they do to the heavy side, right? So that means that they have a team. They got a team, and this is how most like labels tend to do things from time to time. They look at what works and then they do it. You know? So like what's going on? What are people liking right now? What do people dig right now? Well, zombies and horror movies are still fucking killing it. So Stranger Things is popping off too. That's the first thing I thought when I saw the lighting in that was this is a Stranger Things basis.
Interesting. So you think it's more of like more them giving Bloodbath direction than them taking their own?
Yeah, when it comes to the music videos, I definitely do. See, I see them obviously giving the topic of it, right? Like we want this music video done like this.
Yeah.
You know, we want this kind of imagery. We want it to be based around this, you know, and then I could see them saying like Hot Rod fucking crashing up zombies. And then the production team goes on from there because none of these band guys, well, and you know, forgive me for not knowing if they do, but these band guys are band guys. They're not fucking professional fucking movie makers or anything like that. And if they are, they don't have the time to do both at the same time. You know, so when I see something like that, I always think, you know, and this is a good thing too, because people who make stuff like this, they're looking at what works. They're looking at the styles that other people are doing. They're creative people, you know. That's why you got to let people do their jobs in that situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you give a bunch of musicians a fucking camera, you're just going to get a bunch of playthrough videos.
I mean, that's true, but as long as these people don't kind of typecast them and keep pushing them down the same route and like
Well, that's
oversaturate
you can't
the themes and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can't, and that's not gonna happen because in the end, the band will always get the final say.
Well, I hope so.
100%, 110 fucking percent. In metal, in the world of aggressive, like hardcore, brutal music, the band always gets the final say because if they don't, it doesn't come out the way it's supposed to. That's it.
Well, I mean, the fans will jump on that in a second. They'll be like, "This isn't genuine," and fuck right off.
Well, and the fans, it can go either way with the fans too, because let's look at when Suicide Silence released that song Doris.
Mm-hmm.
So let's check that out quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's go with the Suicide Silence that everybody knows and loves. Mitch Lucker, fucking YOLO, like the real fucking deadly shit. So there it is. Suicide Silence right here.
The warm weather is here. As always.
This was back when deathcore was like really starting to hit.
And Suicide Silence has been around for quite some time.
Oh yeah. They'd be doing
Like they're one of the OGs of deathcore, aren't they?
Yeah, they'd be doing 20 years right now if Lucker was still alive. Well, they are on 20 years, just not with Mitch Lucker.
I really just discovered deathcore like last year, so I'm pretty much a newbie at this stuff, but I love it. Oh, they would never make anything like that nowadays.
So that's Suicide Silence. Oh yo, what's going on, Matt? Glad to see you jumping in, buddy. Thanks for coming to say hi. So that's Suicide Silence, and then they decided to change their sound with the new vocalist. They didn't like this. People did not like this. There was a lot of fucking, see, look, Doris backlash. So,
and is it the vocalist or what they did with the vocals itself? Like, are themselves, I guess.
Hold on here. Let me see. Did they take it down? Really?
They're like, it sucked so bad we had to take it down.
Yeah, man. Like that's the situation here. Was they're getting so much fucking hate on it. Okay, so here's a 360 video. So, this is where the spice gets not spicy.
So they went straight metalcore on this, eh?
Yeah, so a lot of people were saying they fucking, because of that little fucking sound, they called that the tee-hee. And that to me is like, so they took some new metal influence, some metalcore influence, but they didn't go hard enough with it. You got like, I love new metal. New metal is like my main inspiration when it comes to doing what I do. Those fucking guys back in the late 90s, early 2000s, they were not in the metal crowd. They were not in the punk crowd. Nobody fucking liked them. And it was because they shredded the fuck out of everything. Now, that little sound, that one. So like, I listen to it and I think like, all right, this is pretty sweet. Like, you know, I like new metal and shit, but this is not fucking Suicide Silence. And they did this purely because they wanted to. This was a decision made 100% by the fucking band, and they got absolutely dragged for it. Like, they got fucking keel-hauled by their fans for it. They still get keel-hauled by their fans for it.
Have they changed the vocal style since then, or did they kind of continue on with their path and just do what they wanted?
They're still doing what they want. I'm pretty sure they kept it heavy, though. I'm pretty sure they didn't go new metal. Fairly sure that Suicide Silence is pretty just like basic deathcore, not super fancy or anything. Here's the newest one. Oh yeah, they just released a new video and Buddy dressed like Rob Zombie.
More space is always a good thing. That's why we are proudly gestation crate free.
Maybe we should have watched that one. That one looked pretty sick. The ad looked dope.
The one time an ad looks good.
See, look. So this is another thing I mean, right? Look at the colors of this.
And the blues?
Yeah, look at the color and the setting of this video. Smoky, reds and blues, old school fucking horror movie, 80s type feel to it. This is what I mean by production crew. And like, by like having a team of people that analyze and check out trends and shit. And then apply that to new releases so that they can keep on getting the views, keep on getting the fucking, like, because in the end, if that's what people are looking at and want to look at, then let's give them something that they're going to want to look at, but spiced with what we have to offer into it.
Do you happen to know if they're on the same label?
Century Media.
Oh, it says right there.
Yeah, Century Media is Suicide Silence. Bloodbath is Napalm Records. And Century Media is American. Napalm Records is European. Like, but it's the internet. It's not hard.
Everything's everywhere nowadays.
Yeah, it's not hard to check out some keywords, to do a couple hours on Google Analytics and like really dig in, right? I've been doing this myself to try and boost up the channel, and so far so good. Let's check this tune out. Yeah, see? See, they're not playing new metal no more, right?
It seems like they kind of reverted back to their older style and like kept the vocals and the instrumentals the same level, but it seemed with like that Doris, they heightened the vocals a lot more for some reason.
Well, and this is just it, you know, like in the end, the bands are gonna do whatever they want with their own music. That's their fucking choice. Like, and that's the beauty of art, right? When you create art for people, some people may not like that, and lots of people may not like that, and that's just the fucking risk you take.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess one of the problems is like when you start to pay attention to those analytics or get those clicks and views. Like if you're doing everything that is super popular, then you
lose the
fail
soul.
to be original.
Yeah, you lose the fucking soul instantly, instantly. And that's the hard thing that I'm learning to navigate right now. Is my analytics guy, my YouTube manager, is telling me like, got to do this, we got to do this, and I'm like, just so you know, like I'm not trying to get overnight success by any stretch. Like, let's figure out what works and let's pump my content.
Yeah, exactly.
I know there's people out there that really like this content. It's just a matter of getting enough of it out there so that people will notice it's there, so that they will come to it. The same thing like yours. There's people out there that enjoy this stuff. We just have to get a larger body of work so that they have something to consume when they come across our stuff.
Well, and I think there's a difference too between people that want to do it organically and people that like say pay for likes or pay for followers, and
it will kill everything you've worked for if you do that.
Yeah,
And my guy told me, he's like, you give me $100, I could get you monetized in 2 weeks. I'm like, I don't want to do that though, because that will it'll fuck everything up. I might get monetized, but none of those people are going to watch the video and it's not going to make me any fucking money. And he's like, that's right. He's like, you understand. And I was like, see, that's what I mean. This is kind of like my life's work at the moment, besides, my band and stuff. But my band is 3 other guys. And Joel and Russ are the ones who do the main bulk of the work when it really comes down to it. Like, we're all the brains, we're all the heart. But Joel writes the lyrics, he writes the riffs. I change it up to the way it fits for me. Russ does all the recording, mixing, and mastering, And we jam at Russ's. So, like, Trash Talk is 100% out of my brain. I have lots of people that work with me on it. Shout out to my homeboy fucking Ryan behind the camera. Shout out to Nathaniel. He's always there on the back end. Alex, DJ. Like, there's lots of people that help me out. Tanis. Fucking Griff helps me out from time to time, all the promoters, all the fucking, everybody, but it's still in the end, I'm the one who determines the yes or no. It's me who's going to end up sitting with this, because I sit in my living room and I do the trash talk from my living room, and I come up with this on my own because I have to sit alone with this and I have to be happy with this. And I have to be able to tell Serenity, my daughter, that, if you keep your integrity and you stick to what you truly believe in, it will work out. And it will, it works out a little bit more every day, and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint by any stretch. If I got overnight success, I keep reminding myself, if I was to get all of the success that I wanted overnight, I wouldn't know what to do with it. And I would probably fail miserably.
Why do you think that?
Because there's a lot of aspects to gaining the success that I want that I need to understand. There's a lot of pieces of knowledge that I need to gain. There's a lot of relationships I need to develop. There's probably a lot of relationships that I need to shirk and push away, And if all of this was to happen like overnight, I would wake up the next day and I would be totally blown away, and I would wonder what happened. Like, why is my life flipped upside down? Like, I don't know how to deal with any of this. I don't know how to handle any of this. Like, what is my day-to-day comprised of now? Like, it would freak me right if I all of a sudden $100,000 in my bank account, but it's just for the show. And I have to collect all my receipts for the show. I have to determine what my expenses are and what my margins are for shows, for festivals, for this, for that. I don't know how to do any of that. I'm learning.
It's like constant training. It's weightlifting, or
exactly.
Same with building your bank account. Basically, if you're given like millions of dollars and you have no education on how to manage that, you're going broke in no time at all.
It takes time. It takes time. And I got to remind myself, I don't know how to handle the success that I've set for myself as a goal, but I know how to handle everything from day to day.
Yeah. And then you talked about integrity too, and that's huge. Like, not a lot of people keep that.
Well, it's very easy to just see it. People get slid choices, and it's very small little cracks that eventually lead to you not being able to go back and then having to go in full force.
And just making those specific choices too.
Exactly. You know, like people who develop platforms like this and then all of a sudden they get caught by a headline, they bring it up in an episode, and then they see that episode got a lot more views than a lot of other episodes. So then all of a sudden, like, let's say a political headline or some sort of like stupid news. Let's say the queen died, right? So let's say we talk about the queen for a bit, blah, blah, blah. We find out that hits harder than anything else that I've posted. So I decide to start mentioning shit like that in every episode. And then before you know it, the episodes are only fucking successful if I bring up stupid fucking political shit that I don't actually care about, you know? And that's what you're saying, is in like keeping that integrity, right? I don't want to I want to do what I want and what I enjoy. And what I enjoy is building up and empowering people and exposing people to the underground. And that's what I'm going to keep fucking doing.
Well, and like we talked about during the Giro Nation Metal recording, is like you make music for yourself. And if you start making music for other people, you're not going to make as good of music. It's not going to be the same quality and the same passion behind it.
Yes.
It's the same thing with whatever you choose to do in life. If you start going based on the tide, then you're just selling yourself out essentially.
Yes. And it is for myself, but it's also, I make it also for people like me and like other, like people who like really fast, really intense music, people who want to go to a show and get smashed around in the mosh pit, and like people who want to watch a band and hear music and have it like make them sweat just from hearing it, you know? And like, oh man, this happened to me in the pit. This happened. Our last show, our bassist got his nose broken in the fucking pit. Like,
yeah,
he got collaterally damaged, you know? And that's exactly why we make this music, is for that experience, you know? And a lot of other people make it for different reasons. But once again, you know, isolation and lockdown was really good for me, because I was already ready for it. Like I love the fact that it's not even been a full year since our last lockdown, and people are still going back to taking everything for fucking granted again, treating strangers like fucking shit, fucking asking everybody for favors every chance they get and never fucking returning any favors. And it's fucking hilarious to watch these people crash and burn when people see right through it and don't fucking give them the time of day. I absolutely love it, because I'm on the same fucking page. I'm on the same page. You know, I know exactly what I want. I started living with intention instead of living based on reaction, and turned life into some really good shit, man. Really, really good shit. And I'm not going to change that, because I know that life started to get good because I decided to make it good. And if I couldn't make it good for myself, decided to accept that and move on in ways that continue to make it good for myself. That's it, man.
Well, I mean, you had a pretty solid reason for all that stuff too.
Hell yeah, buddy. And it doesn't change, you know, it doesn't change. I go to bed in the same place that I wake up, and every decision happens between those two moments. And I just got to remember, you know, like, I'm going to bed in the same place, and I got the same shit to do tomorrow. Don't get stressed about stuff that you think might happen. Don't get stressed about stuff that you think might not happen. Just keep doing it, you know, picking away at it.
Well, it's that discipline to keep picking at it, keep doing it every single day, and then you can't let up. Like, yeah, have a rest day if you need it, but when it comes down to it, if you're working towards a goal, work towards a fucking goal.
Exactly.
It's easy just to say I can do this or make excuses not to do it right now, but if you get it done right now, then you can get to the next goal.
Exactly. That actually happened to me today. It was a really shitty day today, like weather-wise. Not like rainy or anything, but it was windy, a little chilly. It was overcast. Started getting a really bad migraine. And and I bailed on work. I was like, I got to get out of here. My head's pounding. I got to go home and lay down. So my boss, me and him are buds. He's like, yeah, no worries, man. Go do your thing. Send me a message in the morning. Everything will be all right. I was like, awesome. Thank you. I came home. I crashed on the couch and I woke up and I was like, okay, I still got to do laundry. I still got to get ready for this cast tonight. Like, I can't just shut the whole world off because I got a migraine. So, you know, here we are doing this, and I'm grateful for this because this is what I truly love to do. You know, I love to talk to like-minded people about this stuff because I passed all this stuff to the side. Like I said, for myself. Taking control. This is what I want to do. Nobody can say fuck all about it. So let's do it 100%, you know, and like that's actually what I'm about to show everybody. It's a little bit of the same thing. I felt really fucking comfortable. Everything came out. I feel like this was my best vocal performance that I've recorded to date. I was very proud of it, very impressed with Russ, with what Russ was able to do in the edits. And yeah, I'm only going to play a little bit of it, but let me know what everybody thinks here.
Before you go with that, what were some of the things you were working on to make it kind of better?
So, got to remember, this is only like our 7th, 8th song. And like I was off the fucking band stuff for a while, and to get back into it, my body wasn't used to it. But we've been playing shows. I've been listening to these songs nonstop, getting super comfortable with them. I'm super comfortable with the guys now. Like right where I feel that we need to be as a band, we are right there. And when I went in there, I was just like, because we'd played the song so many times, I've been listening to it so much, I already knew exactly what I was going to put into it and go down with it. And it was like it had already been recorded. It was like I was just going back in to do it again, right? And this is the thing with like demoing out songs before you record them. It adds this ability, this flexibility, and this comfort and speed to the recording process that people won't really understand until they try it. So, but yeah, let's check this out. This song is Slaughter and Its Circuitry. We've played this live a bunch, so it's not like super new or anything. It's just we don't have the recording release for it. So,
Okay.
check this out. And I want to know what everybody thinks. Oh, is it going to work? I bet it's going to go through here.
We took out the road. We define the frown. A perpetual pain. It's a permanent it's heroes. We are not enemy. We are not heroes. We are not victims or tainted within its metal mouth. Our component changed over and over and over and over and over and over again. Parts rearranged until nothing remains. We're just lost in its eternal game.
That's it. That's all I'm showing you guys.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what we got for that so far. There's Scott's got to throw in his bass, and then it's got to go for one final mix down and master, and then I'm pretty sure we're just throwing that one out, just chucking it out, getting the rest of these recorded, getting this EP done, chucking it the fuck out, getting on to the next ones. Like, we're still too new to be spending so much time working on this new release, because we're not Dying Fetus, you know, we're not Bloodbath, we're not Suicide Silence, you know, that we don't have an established fan base of tens of thousands of people waiting for us to release stuff. So we got to release stuff faster and more.
Yeah. Basically to stay relevant too, right? It's something like you need the exposure. You need the, I don't want to say the clicks. I don't want to make it sound like that, but
No,
that's
you're
pretty
right,
much
though.
what it is. Like
It
you have
is.
to keep going.
Yeah, it is. You're right. And hey, man, You're never gonna come across fucking dickish to me, buddy. I have 150,000 uncomfortable conversations that musicians and artists don't want to fucking have, man. And like the sad thing is that once you get over these conversations and these blocks in your mind, shit becomes so much easier and it becomes so much more fucking simplistic to get stuff out and get stuff done, and it gets so much less stressful. And it's like, one of the big ones that I try and tell people is you have to talk to your fans. You have to relate to your fans. You have to relate to those people. You have to talk to the people. Comment. If somebody comments on a post you make, reply to the comment. Obviously, people are going to forget. You can't reply to every comment. You know, nobody's Superman, but you can reply to some of them. Don't just make a post and then not reply to any comments, or like make a post asking for people to do something for you, but then you never make a post doing something for anybody else, you know, like, so I try to tell bands, like, don't give always thinking you're going to get back, you know, it's just not, it's not how things work, you know, do what you love to do things for people, and then it comes back as a byproduct. Like, it's already worked in. All of that reward is all worked into helping people and worked into fucking putting music out there. And another tough one that musicians don't want to hear is you're not going to make money off of selling your music. They don't like that. They really don't.
I was actually confused the first time I heard that. And then I had a friend explain it to me, and it was just, I was blown away. I thought for sure like music would be what kind of catapulted bands into the next level, but it's everything after that, because a lot of that goes back to the label.
It's
there's
all
like
the content,
and production and all that kind of shit.
It's all the content. Now, the internet and streaming services have given musicians and artists so much fucking power. Everybody thinks that it's being taken away because we only get paid fractions of a penny per stream, but guess what? Those fractions of a penny per stream might be coming from the other side of the fucking planet. And that guy on the other side of the planet 10 years ago wouldn't have been listening to your music if you were only selling CDs and on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
You know, like,
it's a double-edged sword, because people, I mean, obviously, like, say Spotify, that's a perfect example. They pay the musicians shit, but at the same time, it's like, here's worldwide availability. And that's insane.
Not just that.
Like, this is crazy for me. This is my first fucking stream, and this is available to anyone who wants to tune in. And that's like, I was nervous before coming on, because I'm just like, this is nuts. It's fucking crazy.
Right? So this is why I love doing this too, because the interaction, you know, this is not, when I interview people, it's not just like, all right, so you got this coming out. Let's focus on that. Let's get these pieces of information out. And then, you know, blah, 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 blah. So like for Trash Talk happens on Twitch, and then it happens every Monday and Thursday. And then I like, sometimes I will do my best to get the video and then pull the audio and then upload it so that it can go onto Spotify. And like, that's the main goal, is to get the audio ripped from the video on Trash Talk and then get it out to Spotify so people can listen to it on Spotify. But the main, it's Twitch. It's on Twitch, you know. The main thing is like, hey, I'm always doing something, so that when I'm out at shows, talking to people at shows, I can say like, hey, every Monday and Thursday, I am live streaming with musicians. I am checking out music. I am promoting shows like this is, and I'm going to do what I love to do regardless of who's going to watch, because I know there's people out there that want to see it. Just got to keep doing it. That's the only way that they're going to end up seeing it, you know? And if they don't, then that's fine. I'm still doing exactly what I love to do.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually going to say too, like during Loud as Hell, you were busy as fuck. Like I saw you interviewing a bunch of bands.
Yeah, buddy. We got like 16 interviews.
That's awesome.
And that was just, and that was still, I probably could have got like 26 or 27. But once again, it's like, that's my, this is my whole life. So like when I get out to there and there's a whole bunch of other people that are like-minded like that, I end up talking to them and I end up hanging out, and then I got to rest at some point too. You know, I got to rest. I got to
Yeah.
eat. Like, I don't want. Whereas like a band, so the bands are playing for, and obviously they're doing a lot more intense fucking performance than I am. Like that cannot be fucking understated. But you know, 16 interviews at roughly 10 minutes apiece. That's almost 2.5 hours of performance time. You know. So a little bit of rest is nice. And I want to get more. I'm going to try and get more next year. Another thing is scheduling. Scheduling. It's very difficult to schedule with bands out at Loud as Hell, because what happens is a lot of bands that I want to get in for interviews, they're not going to be out there to party for the whole festival. They're going to pop in, they're going to play their set, and they're going to leave.
Yeah. And then the ones that are camping, you have to find like each member, you have to make sure that they're available, and you have to squeak in the sets that you want to see as well.
And that's another thing too, is like for me, of course there's bands that I'm going to see at Loud as Hell, of course. But my main goal is not to go there to see the bands. My main goal is to go and promote the bands to the people that are there and promote the festival to the people that are there, so that they have something to talk about to their friends that aren't there other than just the bands, you know, because the bands are the bands. Those bands are going to be able to fucking entertain the people themselves, you know, but there's nobody, the bands aren't going to be out in the crowd and out in the campground talking about themselves to other people, you know? So that's what I do, is I make that my point, is like, I'm out there to be the walking fucking program for the festival. Like, what band are you here to see this weekend? Well, I know about this, and this about that band, you know, like that band is camped over there, or like they might not be camped out, you know, just like small stuff like that. And I'll be 100% real too. I talk a lot. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy hanging out with people, and that's hard to do when there's like super loud music blasting in my ear. And like lots of stuff, man. Lots of stuff goes on at the festival. And there's a lot of bands that get missed by Poppy Trash. That's for sure. And it's not for lack of trying. It's just for lack of being 6 people at once.
It's fucking chaotic, man. Like you try to track down like one band, and let's just use an example. I bought a couple albums and I wanted to get the covers signed, and man, tracking them down sometimes was insane.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. And that's another thing you got to roll with. Like, there was a couple bands that said they wanted to do interviews, and every time I would walk by them, they wouldn't talk to me. Nobody'd say anything to me. They wouldn't even acknowledge I was alive. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, I'm the one, and this is obviously, this sounds like super fucking conceited and shitty to say, but like full context, you know. I have all my stuff out there. It's got my name on it and it's got my face on it. You know, I'm already out here to do interviews. So I would think if you haven't contacted me online, or if you have contacted me online, you're going to come and say, hey man, I contacted you online. Can we still do this?
Oh, so it was guys that contacted you or that you talked with beforehand that weren't chatting with you at Loud as Hell.
Yeah, that once I got out there, they just didn't seem like they wanted to come over and say hi or anything like that. And like, I'm not gonna go out of my way. And this is the conceited shitty part that some people might think is shitty, is like, I'm already busy. I've already got my list of interviews, and I've already got my time spread out. So like, if I feel like if you're busy, I'm not going to go approach you. But if you have already approached me online, then I'm pretty much waiting for you to come find me and talk to me about this stuff. But if I see, and maybe, you know, this is also another mistake for me as well. I might not even know that that might be the wrong person I'm thinking of, you know, like I might have them totally mixed up. Right. But I'm still new to this. Still very, very new to this. Loud as Hell this year was the first successful festival really successful festival. I did Decimate Metal Fest.
Yep.
but I had an accident where I ended up deleting all the footage.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, and I ended up deleting a whole bunch of
That's
old.
shitty.
Yeah, I deleted a whole bunch of old footage I had from other shows too. Like I had footage from Vulvadinia and Archspire, and all of it's
Oh,
gone.
Man, that was a sick fucking show.
Yeah.
That was one of the best that, well, I mean, I can't say it's one of the best that I've been to in the last few years because I've only been to a handful, but yeah,
You can
that was
still
an
say
intense
that.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah, me and Duncan were hanging out, getting stoned. I had some really good footage of Archspire and of Vulvadinia, and it all got deleted before I could post it.
And they were also fucking chill. Like it was cool. I chatted with them and I talked a little bit with Stevie Boyser from In Fury. And like they're also like they're all just down to earth. They're really cool and just easy to talk to.
Mm-hmm. Fucking right.
Mind you, I was fucked out of my tree, so like it was really awkward too because I'm like I have no idea what I'm talking about, so I'll just leave you to it.
The trick is to find the comfort zone where you're not nervous about anything and stay there. Don't get too wasted. Don't get too sober. Just keep that level for the night, you know? If you feel it starting to wear off a little bit, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to go grab a shot. If you're feeling a little bit woozy, you know what? I think I might need to grab a bite to eat. But that's the one that you got to be careful with, because if you start to feel a little bit wobbly, then if you sober up, you're probably going to sober up exhaustedly.
Yeah.
You know, so if you get wobbly and you're like, oh no, I don't feel good, then it's either time to go home or drink more and just flick the switch off. And I don't do that anymore. Dad life doesn't permit that.
Not as easily, that's for sure. I know that when I drink, I still have to get up when my daughter gets up. So it's like, is it worth it? Probably, but I do it a lot less.
I love my mornings. I love my mornings because I wake up and I'm fully energized again. You know, I feel like, okay, now I'm not tired from having to deal with all of the stimulation from the day. I'm not tired from having to deal with all the people. Now I'm like recharged again. So I get up at 5 every day, regardless.
Jesus.
Yeah, man.
Good for you, man. I fucking hate getting up in the morning that early.
It just, because of the way that I used to live before I moved out to Calgary, stability and like having my own space and everything is just really exciting for me. And the novelty hasn't worn off in almost 10 years. So like,
oh, awesome.
Yeah, I get up and I have my quiet time. My mom is also a morning person too. Like I get baked. I fucking watch some YouTube videos. Nobody bugs me. I feel good because I'm not super tired and fucking stressed out about all the millions of thoughts that have come through my fucking brain. And, you know, it's just one of those things, I guess, right? And getting work done in the morning is a lot easier. You get a whole bunch of shit done before anybody even wakes up.
Well, and you get it done before too late, and then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. Like if you're sitting there procrastinating, that goes back to our goal chat a little bit earlier, is like, if you wait till the end of the day, you don't want to fucking do anything. And then you get distracted because, like, say a friend invites you out for dinner, or you want to go see somebody have a couple beers, or you want to watch a certain movie or TV show, or the wife comes home or something like that. It's like, get it done and you don't have to worry about it. Mind you, I should take my own fucking advice and actually do some shit sometimes, but
me too. But that's okay, because it comes down to the whole like living with intent and planning again.
I think balance is huge though too. Like, for me, for what I'm trying to accomplish, it's not always the grind. It's like grind some of the time and then also enjoy some of the time too.
You have to enjoy all of the time. Even when you're grinding, even when you're on the grind, you got to enjoy that too, because there's always the chance that something could happen and you don't get to do it anymore. Don't
take it for granted, right? And like, actually, you mentioned that earlier too, but
don't take any of it for granted. You know, sometimes I hate my job, but that's just getting frustrated with small things, right? You know, sometimes I hate the fact that that I got no teeth. You know, small stuff like that, right? But then I realized, like, it is what it is, you know, move on with it. I still love the fact that, like, it's become a part of my personality, who I am. People know me for it. It doesn't affect anything in my life. And it's one of those things, right? You got to learn how to accept the things that you can't control and fucking move on and not pay attention to them. If you have no control over something, fucking forget about it. And it's easier said than done in the beginning. But But after a
Oh,
while,
it's a simple concept, but it's hard to fucking do.
it's hard to get started. It's hard to get that fire sparked up, you know?
Yep.
Another thing too is complaining. Like
Yeah, I do that way too much.
people who, well, and complaining is, it's totally fine. If you don't complain, people don't really know you have a problem. The issue with it is complaining and starting conversations off with that. Complaining as a way to communicate that you have a problem without a solution attached to it. You know, like when I say complain about something, complain about it and then ask for help and then work for the solution.
Yeah.
You know,
Or bring a solution to the table. If you're already complaining, you know what the issue is.
Yeah.
You know how to solve it. Or maybe you don't. Maybe it's just a different idea.
There you go.
But that means you brainstorm with other people. It's not a big deal.
There you go.
And
Hey, I got this problem, you know, it's really giving me a hard time. I'm sorry if I've been treating you shitty, but like, here it is. Do you think you might be able to help me out with it? You know, stuff like that, right? And then be like, this is what I think might work, or this is what I've tried, you know, start that interaction. But people who complain and then wait to see what people have to say about it drives me fucking insane. Like posting on Facebook like it's your complaint diary. You know what I mean? Oh, traffic today on the way to work was garbage. Calgary really needs to fucking do this and do that. It's like, you actually fucking pulled your phone out
While you're in traffic.
clicked that fucking, or even worse, you got through traffic, got to wherever you were going, like dealt with your problem, got to wherever you were going, and then pulled your phone out again, brought the problem up in your mind, and then fucking pulled up Facebook or whatever fucking social media platform, hit the fucking status bar, and then proceeded to post it, and then hit fucking post.
Yeah.
You drag
It's something that's taking up way too much fucking real estate. And really, is it really going to affect you that much after it's been done? Like,
it
you're
is
stuck there.
now. It is
So get through it and be done with it.
now. It's exactly. Look at around you and look at how many other people are dealing with the same problem. You know?
Yeah, you don't think everybody else is pissed off about the same shit?
Yeah, but now you've gone home and you've posted about it, and now you're going to be thinking about that post, and you're going to be thinking about what other people say, and then you're going to be interacting with the comments on it. You're going to be disagreeing with people, or you're going to want to agree with people to fuck. That's a fucking huge problem right now in the world that I think that's what I feel is a huge problem in the world right now, is that
It's
people.
a trap.
It is, man. It is. So I try not to complain about shit. Obviously, that's not possible. Everybody complains, you know, and here's another thing too. People view complaints differently. So if you're expressing something that you feel is a problem, some people might see that as a complaint, you know, whereas I see a complaint as somebody saying that they're affected negatively by something, right? Having a problem isn't always something negative, and it doesn't always affect you negatively, right? So and this is why I kind of like keep these communications to this. You know, you're never going to see me posting about a personal issue, and if you do, that post gets deleted before the end of the day every time, because I just don't want that space. I don't want that taking up space. I don't want that in my air. You know, I don't need it. I got a lot of shit that I would rather focus on than that. And then these other people, they don't understand that if you were to just like not say that kind of stuff, or like throw the positive connotation onto it after, kind of like change the way that you just like fix your brain, bro. You know, fix your.
Again, another simple concept, but really difficult to do.
And that's another thing. I'm also like, it's easier. It's very easy to speak for me to speak from the other side, but I also speak as somebody who went through the battle and the fighting.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Like, from what little I know about you, like we chatted last time, you got out of a shit situation. And so for you, that was a huge life-changing decision. And you actually put your nose to the grindstone and said, fuck it, this is what I need to do. You didn't complain about it. You said, this is my problem and here, solve it. So you brought a solution forward and you've done it. So that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words, buddy. But the thing is like when I complained, I was surrounded by people who were already complaining. So
Like-minded people, man.
every time I complained, my complaints weren't the biggest complaint. So I would get shit on for complaining. It would be like, well, what are you complaining? If you got a problem, go fix it. And then I would still be getting fed bullshit, right? But then I did decide to go fix it. And little things like that, like just changing the way that you communicate to others, you know, changing the way that you start conversations with random people, with strangers, with your friends after you haven't seen them for a while, changing the way that changing the topics that you talk about and how you talk about them, you know, like if I don't like something, I ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist. You know, obviously I have cracks in my facade too, but shit grinds my gears and I fucking get upset about it. But I do my best to put those blinders on because I'm not giving that any of my fucking energy. I want it to disappear out of my life. If I don't like it, I don't want it around. I'm not going to acknowledge. I don't want to acknowledge it over and over and over again until a whole bunch of people say that they don't like it too. And then all of a sudden this thing I don't like is now a fucking like living, breathing fucking thing because we've given it so much power. You know?
That's exactly it. Like if you take it and look at it like bandwidth, for example, you have only so much that you can use for each program, and then sometimes they're duplicates. So if you keep bringing up the same bullshit every day, it just reduces the amount of energy that you can spend on something actually productive or positive or something worth it in your life.
That's right. And people forget how fleeting time is. They forget that time doesn't fucking go backwards. They forget that you can't put the smoke back in the cigarette after the smoke is cigaretted. You know what I mean? Like you can't shove shit back up your ass and that's going to make shit feel better, you know? That's just not how it works. So I've had a couple of situations where like a couple of very important friends have passed away because they forgot that time doesn't fucking care about you, right? So I don't do that anymore. I won't do it. And I spend my time empowering people so that they don't do that stuff too, man. And it's what I feel other people have to do as well, you know? And I used to get on people about it and try and like police the way that they communicated. But now once again, I can't control the way that other people feel and the way that other people think. So I don't try to anymore. You know, I used to get aggravated about it, but I don't try to anymore. And all I do is I care. I care about people. And if you fuck me over, then I'll pretend you don't exist, you know, but I'll still care. If you're still there and we're still one-to-one, you know, face-to-face, I'm gonna care. Like I recently stopped working with an artist and she was at Moments Fest and she set her camera down beside me because I was beside the stage. And I watched her camera for her, made sure nobody fucked up her camera, you know. And she came by and she said some stuff to me or whatever. I didn't really hear her. The music was really loud. But she gave me a hug. Gave her a little hug back. And, you know, polite. That's called manners, right? And it doesn't matter if she wanted to drag me through the mud tomorrow. I'm not saying she's going to. But if she wanted to, I'd be okay. I'd be okay because I know where I'm at. I know my actions. I understand how I treat people, and I understand that you're not ever going to be able to make everybody happy, and you're not fucking supposed to, because a lot of those people might not be the person that you think they are, and they might try and take that happiness and they might try and flip it the fuck around on you. So you always got to be careful. You got to keep your circle small, you know? Careful who you call your family, but you can be friends with everybody. You just don't have to call everybody your family. And that's one thing I highly suggest to everybody is try to be friends with everybody. It's only beneficial.
Well, yeah. And like, it's that integrity that you talked about earlier too. It's like, you raise yourself to that level. You're humble. You lead by example. It's like, there's not much else you can do. And then nothing can really hurt you.
There's no failure. There's no failure.
Making a mistake is again another problem to be solved, and if by chance somebody drags you through the mud, fuck it, no big deal.
And that's what I'm starting to realize with the growth of trash talk and trash on the streets is that when I get to a point where I feel stagnant, I need to look around for something new to try and to fuck up and to learn from, because if there's no more growth, then I need to look around and I say, okay, well, what's something I need to try out that I could possibly grow from that I can fuck up, that I can learn from, that I can try again, you know? What's something that's going to help me grow and help the show grow?
So, quick question: is that part of the reason you started podcasting? And the second question is, the reason you moved out to Calgary, was that to kind of separate yourself from your previous life?
Moved out to Calgary because I already had the music scene out here. I already had a group of people out here that loved me and that were like already stoked on the stuff I love to do. And they were not on the level with me on all the other stuff. So it was like the perfect plan to get out here. You know, it was just, this was my Mexico, so to speak, you know?
Awesome.
And then podcasting was to become a part of the scene, or to stay as a part of the scene without having to be in a band, but also be able to put my personality and put my communication skills and my promotion skills right at the forefront with no compromise, you know? The chance for me to 100% be me without having to worry about fucking disappointing anyone, because when I'm me 100% full blast and I disappoint someone, I don't fucking care. That's not my problem. Because I know for a fact that I am never ever out to disappoint anybody on purpose. So if you become disappointed and you come to me and you say I'm disappointed, and you can't communicate to me that like, hey man, I'm disappointed and I think that it's because of this and I think that's your fault. Well, then I'm going to do my best to try and fix that. But if it's just because you don't like my shit, well then get fucked. I don't care. I'm going to keep doing it. And a lot of people aren't like that, and they don't realize that they're not like that until they actually get told by random strangers, I don't like your shit. And then they spend 4 or 5 or 6 hours online fucking fighting back and forth with a random stranger that might just be a troll.
Yeah, well, and when it comes down to it, everything's subjective. So if you don't like my stuff, that's cool, but we can probably still be friends.
Exactly. I also felt that there was a real big need for a fucking proper promoter that isn't just a show promoter or promoting their own band. You know, because I'm that's what I am through and through, is a promoter. I promote artists, I promote musicians, I promote bands, I promote fucking whatever needs to be fucking promoted. And that's what I love to do. And I love to talk. And I love the music. So that's what this show is all about, is all of those things rolled together, you know? And I used to always like dig into bands. I've been into bands for a long, long time. And when I finally had my own band, it was like finally I got permission to be the person that I've always wanted to be. And I didn't need that permission because I was always that person, you know? It's a weird situation that's got me to where I am. And I've wanted to quit a couple of times just because like sometimes stuff is really good and then sometimes stuff is like, I can't really put as much work into some things sometimes as I put into some things other times. Like for me, I want to have posters. I want to have promo posters for every episode. You know, I want to make
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I want to make sure that but the same. They look the same. The only thing that changes is the guest and the guest's information, you know. And I want to have those to post on Facebook and post on Instagram before every show and after every show. But it takes a long time to make those fucking posters, man. And I've already got a lot of other stuff I got to do, because in between all of this stuff, I got to be a dad and I got to be a boyfriend to my partner. And I got to unwind my brain, you know?
It's a huge balance. When you're dealing with people, like, and because you're streaming, I'm just wondering, like, have you ever had a situation where you haven't had a guest, or maybe a guest is canceled last minute?
Yep. Oh, yeah. There was a crew from Edmonton that wanted to jump on, and I don't slight them for this at all, because like I'm never going to make stories up as to why people don't want to be on my show. If they can't be on my show, I'm going to assume it's because they can't be on my show. I'm not going to assume it's because they don't want to be on my show and they just don't want to tell me.
Yeah,
because it's petty. It's petty. We're all
assume stupidity over maliciousness.
Yeah, we're all adults here. We're all adults here. If you can't do it, then I'm going to assume you can't do it, and I'm going to tell you that the invitation is always open. And then that's the ball's in your court now. It's up to you to reach out again if you want to come back on the show. So I had a couple of guys from Edmonton that wanted to do the show, and then buddy called me and canceled, and he's like, "Yeah, the band broke up," and I was like, "Okay, Well, that sucks, man. If you need any help with anything, or if you want to talk or jump back on the show, let me know. So he messaged me a week later and said, oh, we talked it out. We want to come back on the show. I'm like, all right, sweet, let's do it.
Awesome.
So another week or two after that, called him up for the interview, and he's like, we're both really sick, man. We're not going to be able to do it. And I was like, all right, no worries, dude. Invitation's still open. Just let me know. And I have not heard from them since. That was last year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
so
okay.
be it. I mean, like, I think it'd be more difficult with your show because it's live. And I think that for me, if I was like trying to work through a live situation and somebody just canceled, I'd be like, oh, fuck, what do I do now? Because it's pre-recorded, I'm able to set up episodes a couple months in advance. And that's nice because then I have the grace period.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't show up or if they decide not to record, it's like, so be it. No big deal.
So another thing with my show, I'm a promoter.
Mm-hmm.
So if a guest doesn't come on the show, then I'm gonna promote. I'm just gonna fucking pull up videos of bands that I've been listening to, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna grab a couple of the submissions out of my fucking press release vault, and I'm gonna show off some of those bands, and I'm gonna squeeze an hour out, and that's it, man. Because in the end, I'm doing this show, and I'm promoting these bands, and I'm getting this episode out there because I know that not only do I want to do it, but I know that it's gonna be fucking valuable to either, even if it's just valuable to me and the one or two people that watch every time, it's still there. I still get I still get 100 or so views, and I still get my stuff out there, and nice bands still want me to promote them. So like, it's a win-win all the way around. Every failure is a success in disguise. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally. Of course it does, because every failure gives you a chance to learn, and then you can find a solution to the problems that you previously had.
There's
and then it's
always
no longer an issue.
Exactly. There's always new music to promote out there, man, and there's hours and hours of it.
It's insane. I don't know how people keep up or remember everything, and that's one of my struggles recently. Is like I just, especially over the past year doing the podcast, it's like I've been so inundated with new music. It's like and I hate saying this, but I don't have the same ability to dive as deep into albums as I used to. So now a lot of it's kind of fleeting, and then I forget about things.
Yeah.
I have to go back and re-listen to it over and over again. And then, so I don't know. That's a problem I haven't found a solution to yet.
Keep working forward. Don't worry about forgetting things. Always just keep thinking forward. Because when old stuff is done, it's done. You don't have to worry about the old stuff again. If you forget about old stuff, that's fine, because you always got to be digging up the new stuff to keep your content fresh, to keep what you're doing fresh, so that people will keep coming to it, right? So don't worry about forgetting stuff. And if you think you're going to forget stuff, write it down. All the stuff that you're used to forgetting, write it down. I got Post-it notes all stuck to the side of my computer here, just for little nitpicky stuff so I can remember it. I got pieces of paper all over the place, just in case. And it helps, man. When I schedule interviews, I go right into my phone and put it on the calendar first thing, because if I don't, I'll forget. And it's just assigning meaning to it, right?
Yeah. That's what I do. I have a calendar upstairs, and I just write everything on there every month. And then other than that, I'm able to, I have like a spreadsheet that I keep for my guests and stuff like that, because then it tells me the interview time, the date, what episode they are, and all that kind of stuff. And it keeps me grounded, I guess, because then I look at it and I'm like, holy fuck, I've done all that. This is why I'm going to continue, because it's cool. I get to talk to these wicked people. I get to hear these awesome stories.
You get to do what you want. You get to do what you want to do. But we do have to wrap this up.
Sounds good, man.
I want to hear about the future of Giro Nation.
Oh, well, that's tough. So I am coming up on my 1 year, like I said, for October. And so I hope I have the proper interviews lined up for that. But what I've done recently is I've worked with Christoph Speidel for a couple of those logos that I can't see him from here. But yeah, so he's done, I messaged him trying to see if he could just do like a black metal style logo. What I want to do with that is kind of create some stickers, just more of like a promotion thing. Like, hey, if you want to listen to my podcast, great. If not, that's cool, but have a sick sticker. And then he decided to reply back and say that he could do more than just black metal. And this is something that I was not really privy to at the time, but he did 11 different logos for me. And so I'm going to be rolling them out just stickers. So if people want to buy them, that'd be awesome. If not, that's cool. I'm still going to give them away. And then ultimately what I want to do is just get more and more local and international bands, just kind of meet the same people. I hope to keep releasing weekly until the foreseeable future, and I don't see this stopping anytime soon. So Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
As far as the future, I don't have any grandiose goals or any kind of level of success that I want to reach. If people do want to support me, I do have a Patreon, but it's not something that I'm pushing because I don't really care that much. It's something I enjoy and it's fun. So
Hell yeah, buddy. I can respect that. I can respect that a lot. Fucking rights, buddy. You got any shout outs before we wrap this up?
fuck everybody who's been on the show. What I'm going to do is give a shout out to my first couple of guests. Iron Mike Savoya, he was a photographer, or he is a photographer for about 35 years in Seattle, and he's been part of the metal and rock scene down there for years. He's photographed everybody in the sun, or under the sun, in the sun, same shit. And then my buddy Nick Foster, he's actually used to be bass player for Divinity back when they first started. He was on their first album, and I think the next 2 or 3 EPs at the Immortalist. And so he's the one who kind of introduced me to extreme metal. So back in 2008, I was working with him, delivering appliances and stuff like that. And he's like, "Hey, do you like metal?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I like Slipknot, Mudvayne." He's like, "This is metal." And he just puts it on, and he kind of blew my mind. There were so many different genres, like everything from Dream Theater to Arsis to Dying Fetus and everything in between, basically. So I owe a lot of this to him. And so for those two especially, but for everybody who's appeared on the show and everybody who's chatted with me since, and especially you, Nate, like, thank you so much for having me on my first stream. This is pretty fucking sick. So thank you all. I appreciate everything.
Hell yeah, man. It was awesome having you on the show. I really appreciate you coming on and giving me a piece of your time.
No, I appreciate the same thing. Like, and again, sorry for being late. My computer was slow as fuck, but that's no excuse.
All good, buddy. These things happen. Definitely not a problem at all. Always fucking prepared for it. So, thank you so much for coming on, man. So, next Friday, we're going to be at Vern's hanging out with Raising the Ruins for their single release show. And then we are going to be heading up to Red Deer for All Else Fails with Conviction, an Art of Attrition with the myopia condition. So, it's going to be a good weekend next weekend. I'm not going to be out at shows this weekend. I'm going to be hanging with my family. So everybody, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me and Jeff. We greatly appreciate it. Go and go call your mother. Go call your fucking mother. She fucking misses you, huh? Yeah, call your mother. All right, we'll see you guys on Monday. Cheers.